Hello everybody, my name is Nikki and I am going to be leading the discussion this week on the article we read, A Dozen Heads Are Better Than One, Collaborative Writing in Genre-Based Pedagogy by Nigel A. Kaplan and Monica Farling. The purpose of this article is to introduce one powerful curriculum model, as opposed to the 5-paragraph essay, for teaching written genres, like the TLC, which is the teaching/learning cycle, and to demonstrate how it can be easily adapted to traditional writing curricula using whole class collaborative writing. So the TLC is being compared to the 5-paragraph essay structure in terms of why TLC is a better way to teach writing and why genre-based pedagogy is a better way to teach writing over the 5-paragraph essay structure. So genre as an organizing principle. All writing takes place in the genres that constitute and are constituted by the culture in which the communication takes place. In order to write in academia and professional life, students need genre awareness. Genre gives learners a reason to write and an audience to read their texts. The activities that are used in genre-based pedagogy and in TLC are used in which attention is paid to structure and organization that become a deliberate choice, which is dependent upon the content, purpose, and mode of the text, which is the genre. This is opposed to mindlessly following a formula like the 5-paragraph essay, where you don't need to pay much attention to audience because the audience is inevitably going to be the teacher, and creative juices aren't really flowing, and in TLC activities, it is the complete opposite of what the 5-paragraph essay does for a creative mind. And genre-based models that are analyzed and collaboratively written by teachers and students alike are internalized and repurposed to create the writer's own meanings. Now, this is opposed to, once again, the 5-paragraph essay structure where things are not internalized and repurposed to create the writer's own meanings. More so, formulaic structure is memorized to just repeat the same essay over and over again using different information. So how TLC works. There are 3 steps to a successful TOC activity. It includes number 1, deconstruction, number 2, joint construction, and number 3, independent construction. Now, deconstruction, the first step to how TLC is used, is the linguistic choices in a genre are made explicit to learners through analysis of mentored text. Joint construction, step 2, is that teachers and students then together compose a new text in the target genre, whatever that may be, whether it's a review of a product, a movie review, a letter to a landlord. And independent construction is when students write their own text following deconstruction and joint construction. Now, the controlling principle of TLC is guidance through interaction and the context of shared experience. Now, this segues into the key to TLC. The key to its success is joint construction. This is the most important stage of TLC, and it is what makes this genre-based pedagogy so successful. So it can be accomplished through teacher-led whole-class collaborative writing. It is a highly engaging task that both draws on and sketches students' current level of content, rhetorical, strategic, and linguistic knowledge. It also demonstrates mastery of coherent focus, paragraph structure, supporting main ideas with details, and metacognitive awareness of how to use these skills in meaningful context. So the mastery that it demonstrates is what the 5-paragraph essay is supposed to demonstrate, but fails to do so. So dynamic scaffolding and joint construction is a course of guided interaction in which the teachers and students share authorship of the text. So like I said, joint construction is the key to the success of the TLC activities because when teachers and students come together to write something, it opens the students up to a lot more understanding of what they're supposed to be doing, and it gives them the knowledge of using new structures and vocabulary and grammatical tools and rhetoric as opposed to simply being told what to write and simply being explained to. Sometimes that's not enough. The teacher needs to get in there with the student and help them write, which is why, once again, TLC is above the 5-paragraph essay structure. So the way that dynamic scaffolding during joint construction works is that the teacher elicits an idea, then it turns into a meta-commentary between the teacher and the students, and then the teacher elicits a specific detail to keep the conversation going. So you can actually see a very detailed conversation of what this meta-commentary would look like between a teacher and their students in our article if you need it for reference. And the students draw on their existing language resources, but are also offered new ways to make meaning. So they're kind of learning as they go with the help of the teacher and utilizing the previous knowledge that they have while utilizing what new knowledge the teacher is giving them in the moment to move forward in the conversation and to further use in their genre-based writing tasks, whatever it becomes. The teacher and student negotiate both form and genre staging with varying degrees of student autonomy and teacher scaffolding. So because it's joint construction, while the teacher and the student share authorship of the text, the student still retains their autonomy very highly, actually, because they remain in charge of what they're writing. They're able to bounce ideas off of the teacher and vice versa. And when teachers write together with students, they're able to make linguistic, rhetorical, and strategic choices visible. So, like I mentioned before, in a 5-paragraph essay, when all you can do is explain to a student what needs to be done, it might not be as clear or as easily understood as when a teacher gets right down in there with the student and makes specific choices visible to them to use. Now this is an example of genre-based pedagogy from the article. There was a student who wrote about her favorite possession, and she wrote this before being taught the genre-based pedagogy. So, I'm going to read this. My favorite possession is my daughter. Her name is... She is 2 years old. I believe she is the better child in my eyes. She is a gift from my God. I love her very much because she is a piece from my heart. Also, she loved me very much, so I can't continue my life without her. My husband and I spend a lot of time for her to be happy. I don't have more reason to explain why I love her so much because just she is my daughter. In my opinion, all of people must love their children to their children love them. So as you can see, there's a few grammatical errors, vocabulary errors, sentence structure errors, and the possession is clearly her daughter, so there's a little mix-up of the understanding of the word possession. But after being taught the genre-based pedagogy, we can see that her writing becomes much better, much clearer, and much more structured. So after being taught the genre-based pedagogy, her writing became... It is important for any woman to use a hairdryer to become in a stylish appearance. Personally, I brought Braun hairdryer, which has high qualities to make my hair so healthy. Its design helps me to use, such as its size is suitable for size my hand, so I can hold it easily. In addition, that product is lightweight for more transport. For good aspects, Braun hairdryer has a certain area which I can control a proper temperature. Also, it has airflow and drying speed in a short time. For example, if I take a shower, I can dry my hair quickly. Now, this writing sample actually continues, but for the sake of this presentation, I did not include the rest of it. But we can see that the writing has improved while there's still some grammatical errors. The language becomes much more sophisticated, and this text actually meets all of the expectations of a genre. So though I didn't include the title in the presentation, there is a title for this piece, and it includes an explanation. It includes why the writer is an expert in the product category, so blow dryers. It includes the good and bad features of a blow dryer, and a recommendation. So as the teacher would have stressed in joint construction, opinions are supported with details and examples as the writer describes aspects of the product and then gives her experience using the product as supporting evidence. Now, the overview of this article is that through teaching TLC, students learn to produce effective texts in the target genre using increasingly sophisticated resources. Participating in joint construction scaffolds learners by reinforcing the genre staging, modeling good writing strategies, and providing language structures that they adapt for their own purposes. So overall, the 5-paragraph essay is not as effective of a writing instruction method as using TLC, and this article provides a lot of examples and evidence that supports that theory. So TLC is the way to go over the 5-paragraph essay structure. Thank you.